There's a cool new tool called the Pop-Up Color Palette, and you will find that in the bottom left-hand corner of your workspace. The tool is right here beside the Select Your Thread Chart tool, where you can click to choose to open up the pop-up palette. And if you click again, it would close it and then reopen it. You can also close it up here. There's a little X on it. But when you close it, you'll reopen it by just clicking on the bottom button at the bottom. And so the cool thing about the pop-up palette is it makes it easy to browse through a large collection of colors very quickly. If you find a color in here that you want to add to your sort of working palette, you can click on that color and then right-click and choose to add it to your design palette. And so, then maybe when you're done with it, you can just close it all up again. If you want to open it up, you can make it larger. So if you go on the sort of side of it with your mouse, you can make it kind of any size you want to. And the cool thing about that is you can browse through a large collection of colors, really quickly. You'll find that you can use any color palette. So if you come to the button for selecting a thread chart and you change your thread chart, and you'll notice that we've updated some of our thread charts. We've updated the Floriani ones to include all of the latest threads and different kinds, as well as the embellished threads were updated and the quilter select threads were updated as well. So whatever thread chart you choose down at the bottom will become the colors of your color palette. And like I said, you can pick this up and you can even put it onto the sort of areas of your workspace like this when you pick it up and put it down. So it's really entirely up to you where to keep it while you work with it. You'll notice that it also has the option to manage your fabrics. And so when I click on fabrics, if I click on the word fabric, these would be the ones that came kind of with the program. And again, if I made this window a little bigger, I can see more fabric at one time. But now we've given you the ability to manage your own fabric, and you'll see I have a folder that says Moda, and I've put some fabric in there. And if you want to add a new folder, just right click over top and say create new folder and call it anything that you want. I'll call it today and say okay. And now I can select the folder that's empty for today and click on add, and it will allow me to browse, anywhere on my computer basically to select, an image that could be that sort of fabric image that would go into, the applique shapes or in your artwork shapes. And so fabrics really are for when you have shapes that are made as an applique. So for example, in this design here, the chalkboard is an applique, and if you click on the button for the fabric library, it now pops up your pop-up palette where you could browse through to a fabric and choose to put a fabric in the background, as opposed to just a color or a blank space like that. And so that is how you access your fabric library, and that is how you access your color library as well. And so whatever you select in here is what you'll be coloring over, with your color palette. If I wanted to change that back to the black, then I could click undo, and go back to whatever it was if you didn't like what you made. And so that's the idea. You have a pop-up palette. There's one more thing in the pop-up palette that we'll learn more about in a subsequent video, and that's the new pick and apply. And pick and apply is going to more apply with colors. So when you see how pick and apply can be turned on or off, and if I turn on pick and apply, and then, for example, if I select this color of pink, for example, and then see how my cursor becomes a paintbrush, and if I click on the word Floriani, it will become pink. And if I click on Fall 22, that becomes pink. And so the idea is you can choose a color and pick, and then click to apply. So pick and then apply. It's a different way to recolor the parts of your designs, and so you can easily click on a color and then click to apply it. When you click off of click and apply, you'll go back to the normal sort of work mode where you would select something and then you would click in here to decide what color it's going to be. And so that is the new Pick and Apply, and we'll record another video with a few more tips and tricks about how to use Pick and Apply. But we hope you enjoy the new pop-up color palette with the latest update to the software.